From the Grant Shipley Pavilion on the campus of the Hun School, good evening everyone and welcome to Strive's coverage of Mid-Atlantic Prep League basketball. Tonight the Peddie Falcons come into Grant Shipley Pavilion 15-2 on the season to take on the 6-8 Hun School Raiders. Hi everybody, Mike Samsel with you, just about set for this evening's game between the Peddie Falcons and the Hun School Raiders. And as we take a look at both teams in today's game, the Peddie Falcons come in 15-2 on the season. This is certainly an outstanding team. They come in led by their captains, George Langberg, who's heading to play his college basketball at American University, as well as a pair of postgrads, Nate Hickman, the 6'3 postgraduate, and Brian Rivers, who played his high school ball here in Mercer County at West Windsor Plainsboro South High School, now moving on as a postgraduate to the Peddie School, and he will certainly be one to try and slow down for the Hun School. On the other side for the Raiders, they come in led by head coach Jonathan Stone in his 13th season at the helm. His team led by Joshua McGilvery. McGilvery, the 6'8 player, shooting 57% on the season. And he's looking around at some Ivy League schools, some Division III schools. So it certainly should be an interesting matchup this evening here from Grant Shipley Pavilion. We mentioned Jonathan Stone in his 13th season at the helm for the MAPL League participants, the Hun School Raiders. And as we take a look at Jonathan, he's been the head coach here. We mentioned state championship 2 of the last 4 seasons. His Hun School Raiders have been MAPL League champions, only 6-8 on the year so far this season. So the team's certainly trying to get things going in the right direction, and getting a win over their MAPL League rival, the Peddie School Falcons, would certainly be a great way to do it. Taking a look at the starting lineups in today's game first. For the Hun School Raiders, they come in 6-8 on the season, and their starting lineup will have Eric Williams, a 6'1 junior out there, averaging 7.5 points a game is Eric. He'll be joined in the backcourt by Jason Jeter, shooting 54% on the year is Jason. Certainly one to keep an eye on in the backcourt. And Michael Burke. Michael Burke averaging 14 points a game, 2.5 assists, 1.5 steals, and 2.5 rebounds, 6'2". Already has one Division I offer, and a lot of Division I interest around this young man. In the front court, we mentioned Remy Janicott, averaging 5.6 boards a game. He'll be in the front court, the postgraduate, and he'll be joined in the front court by Joshua McGilvery. And McGilvery, the subject of our Strive Spotlight tonight, the 6'9 Scotsman. Incredible student in the classroom, has a great basketball IQ as well. Good distributor of the basketball, really good defender as well, and something that you don't really see a whole lot in today's game anymore. Really a true center, really plays the low post very well. And he's going to provide a tough matchup for the Falcons tonight, who like to play a little bit of a smaller lineup. The tallest player in their starting lineup is only 6'3". So McGilvery should have a chance to really get things going tonight. On the other side for Peddie, 15-2 on the year, led by head coach Joe Rulwich. And the starting lineup for the Falcons will have Everson Davis out there. He'll be in the backcourt with Isaiah Seatram. George Landberg, we mentioned, will play in the front court. Heading to play his college ball at American University, Nate Hickman and Brian Rivers make out this very small, very fast starting lineup for the Peddie School Falcons. We're going to take a quick break here on Strive as we're just about set for our national anthem. You're watching Strive Sports. And we're just about set for the opening tip-off out here at Grant Shipley Pavilion. Our referees in today's game are Chris Chinese, Rich Giolella, and Rick Pinna. And we are just about set for basketball. Ball tossed in the air and we are underway. Peddie has possession. They'll come out with Brian Rivers running things at the point. Rivers tries to work things in the post, but it's taken away by McGivray, who airmails this one well out of bounds. And possession will head back to the Falcons. So set to inbound is Peddie. Rivers will run the point for the Falcons, 15-2 on the season. Across the timeline now with Everson Davis, kick out and a long shot on the way, no good from Hickman. Rebound pulled in by the Raiders, back the other way. This is Jeter. Jeter will run the point for the Raiders. Burke works it in the post and then kick it back out to the top for Janicott. Now it's Jeter. Once again, setting up the offense is Williams. Now in the post, nice move, and McGivray lays it in. First bucket of the day belonged to the Raiders, and it's 2-0. Now across the timeline with it will come Davis. Bit of a hurried possession here by Peddie as Rivers kicks it into the corner. Scrumford in the corner, it goes out of bounds, and it will head back to the Hunt School Raiders. Certainly a raucous crowd here in Grant Shipley Pavilion. Happy the Raiders get the ball back and set to inbound on the baseline is Williams. Press here from Peddie, not making it easy to get it in, but they find Janicott. And now it will be Burke. He sets up the Raiders offense on the right elbow. Into the corner now is Williams. Williams spots up and his three is on the way and good. Eric Williams makes it 5-0 Raiders. So Peddie, 15-2 on the season, but a bit of a hard time getting things going against the Raiders so far. Here's Rivers on the drive, off balance shot, no good. And McGivray with the rebound. Burke will set the Raiders up on offense. Burke, a nice spin move, puts up a shot off balance, won't go, but here's the putback from Janicott. And it's 7-0, Hunt in front. Rivers quickly gets this one across the timeline now, and it's C-Tram, and he puts it up and in. First bucket of the day for Peddie, and that makes it 7-2. Now the inbound pass taken away, and putting this one up, no good, is Hickman, but he pulls down the rebound, and Peddie will reset on offense. Now kick out and a three on the way. That one rattles and falls for George Landberg. And it's 7-5. This is what Peddie likes to do. They like to play quick. They like to press, and they nearly force another turnover now as the ball goes out of bounds, but possession will remain with Hun. Jeter inbounds, and Williams pressed by Rivers in the backcourt. Williams finally able to get it across the timeline, but Brian Rivers all over him defensively. He gives it off now to Burke. Burke tries to drive in the paint, but nothing there, so he gives it off, and Williams. Williams works it over to Jeter. Jeter looking to set up a pick and roll, but nothing there, and play whistle down, foul called. A little bit too aggressive from Isaiah C-Tram. And that will be the first foul. Charge to Peddie. Burke. Being guarded by Davis. Gives it off, and here's a three on the way. That one no good, but Janicott pulls down the board, and he's fouled. Three was a little bit too strong in the corner from Williams, but Remy Janicott, averaging 5 points and 6 rebounds per game, will step to the line to shoot a pair. 7-5 our score. 2-point lead for the Raiders. Make it 3 as Janicott knocks down his first. Misses the second, and the rebound pulled in by Peddie. Three-pointer here will tie it after they trailed 7-0. Rivers, play whistle down and a foul called. Foul is going to go against the Hun School. As substitution into the game, checking in is 35, Austin Shelton, the senior out of New York City. Rivers will inbound. Rivers fires this one in, driving into the lane, and an offensive foul is going to be called on Everson Davis. Nice job by Jeter to get in and get his feet set. And possession will head back to the Raiders. Jeter inbounds to Janicott again. That full court press from Peddie. As across the timeline with it is Jeter. Jeter gives it off in the left corner now. This is Williams. Nice give and go. He lays it off the glass. Can't get it to go, and the rebound pulled in by Shelton. Back the other way is Rivers, and he's able to draw contact in the foul. So Brian Rivers, the post grad out of West Windsor, New Jersey, will step to the line to shoot a pair. Rivers led the Pirates from West Windsor, Plainsboro South last season to a number 2 seed in the NJSI AA Group 4 tournament. Eventual quarterfinal loss to Trenton. He missed the first free throw and he'll shoot another. And he knocks that one down. 8-6 our score as they press again. Jeter able to get some space from Lucas Niglio into the game for the first time. Under 4 minutes to play here in the first quarter. Jeter gives it off to Williams. Williams works it in the post, and play is going to be whistled down. Foul called as they were trying to work it in to Josh McGilvery. Foul is going to be charged to Peddie. That will be their 4th as a team as the inbound pass comes in, but it's swatted away. Back the other way. Here comes Rivers lobbing in, trying to throw it down. No good. Shot missed from Nate Hickman. Back the other way goes Jeter, and he's fouled. Jeter tried to throw that one down, and it got a rise out of the Raiders faithful. But he was fouled, and he'll step to the line to shoot a pair. Jason Jeter, we mentioned 54% from the field on the season. Averaging just over 6 points a game. And he'll shoot a pair from the line. Misses the first. Set to shoot one more. This is Michael Burke, my apologies. Burke's second free throw is good. So he goes 1 for 2 from the line, makes it 9-6, 3:35 to play in quarter number 1. Brian Rivers will set up the offense for Peddie. Davis gives it back to Rivers. Now in the corner, a 3 is on the way in. Good from Nate Hickman. That ties the game at 9, 3:15 to play here in quarter number 1. Raiders trying to get it in past this press. And they find McGilvery. McGilvery gives it off to Jeter. And Jeter will bring it across the timeline. Jason Jeter being guarded by Niglio. And play is going to be whistled down. Illegal screen set, and possession will head back to Peddie. Davis will inbound to Rivers. 2:55 to play here in quarter number 1. All tied 9-9. Davis and Rivers play catch with it at the top. Rivers with it right now over to Davis. Now Rivers once again trying to make a crossover move. Nothing there. Tried to work it in the corner to Niglio, but too hot for him, out of bounds, and possession will head back to the Raiders. Inbound pass nearly deflected away. Niglio laid out to try and keep that one in bounds. Good to see he's okay, and the Raiders will retain possession. Lucas Niglio really gave it all to try and keep that one and get it back for Peddie after committing the turnover. Now McGivery gives this one down court, and it's Jeter driving into the lane. He loses possession, and back the other way comes Rivers. Niglio forced the steal, but play is going to be whistled down. And it will head back the other way to Hunt as a lot of hand checking heading down court. And a foul is going to be whistled against Peddie. Brian Rivers will be charged with a foul, and the inbound pass comes in to Jeter. Jeter getting pressed and brings it across the timeline. 2:20 to play here in quarter number one. Jeter now works it over to the right side. Taylor Heilman into the game for the first time. They wheeled around. Now they try and work it down low. Reverse layup on the way. Won't go, but there's McGivery with the tip back. 11-9 Raiders back in front. Rivers will bring it across the timeline in the corner and gets it back. Rivers on the left elbow, fires right corner. Davis's three is good. And that gives Peddie their first lead of the day at 12-11 with 1:40 to play here in quarter number one. Long down court pass is deflected away out of bounds, but possession will remain with the Raiders as that one was knocked out by Nate Hickman. Certainly an interesting brand of basketball here from the Falcons. You can see why they're 15-2 on the season. Even though not a lot of size, they constantly press, don't give you much room to breathe at all. Inbound into the corner, and it's Jeter. 90 seconds to play in quarter number one. Shelton steps out on Jeter, and they work it in the corner for Osley. But play is whistled down. The foul called away from the ball. Foul is going to be whistled against Nate Hickman. And Peddie, that's already the 7th team foul of the first half. And there's 1:24 to play here in quarter number one. So Josh McGivery will step to the line for a 1-and-1. Misses the front end, rebound tipped around and controlled by Peddie. Back the other way with this one. Here's Seatram, and he's fouled hard. From behind is Jason Jeter. Will be charged with that one, third foul on the Raiders. And Seatram will step to the line to shoot a pair. Seatram, 5'8" junior, out of Ajax, Ontario, Canada. Puts his first free throw on the way, rattles around once, twice, 3 times, and won't go. Seatram will get another as McGivery will come out of the game. Remy Janicott checks back in. Seatram's second is good, and that gives Peddie a 2-point lead, 13-11, 1:19 to play in the first half. Inbound will come in from Osley. Burke pressed in the backcourt by Davis. Able to break it easily and brings it across the timeline. 70 seconds to play here in quarter number one. Burke isolation, one-on-one, fires into the corner for Williams. Now they try and work it in the post. They get it to Janicott, up with a right hand off the glass and good. Nice move from Remy Janicott, and that makes it tied at 13. As we're just about 45 seconds to play in quarter number one. Davis looking to create some space. Nice help there from Janicott. Shuts down the lane. Hickman on the right elbow. Looks like Peddie's going to hold for the last shot. Remember, no shot clock here in high school basketball. Shelton gives it off. Now popping a long three is Landberg. That one's no good. A rebound pulled in by Landberg. He puts it up. Airmails that one. No good. And out of bounds on the rebound was Niglio. So possession will head back to the Raiders. 11 seconds to play here in quarter number one. And the Hun fans let Landberg know about that one. Inbound pass comes into Burke. Burke double teamed and Niglio able to knock it loose. They scrum for the ball, able to come up with it. Turnaround shot is on the way and good from Davis. And that gives a 15-13 lead to Peddie as we end quarter number one here at Grant Shipley Pavilion. Through one quarter, and Peddie leads 15-13 over the Hun School Raiders. You're watching Strive. Set to start quarter number two out here at Grant Shipley Pavilion on the campus of the Hun School. Mike Samsel with you here on Strive. 15-13. The lead belongs to the Peddie Falcons of the Hun School Raiders. Hun certainly played tough through quarter number one. Huge size advantage goes to the Raiders. Well, we mentioned Peddie plays fast and has some really good outside basketball players out there. Brian Rivers, Nate Hickman, George Landberg all showing some good skill in quarter number one, as Hun will have it to start quarter number two with Jason Jeter. Jeter tries to give this one off. Niglio knocks it out of bounds, but possession will remain with Hun as they were trying to work it over to Tucker Stevenson. So Stevenson will handle the inbound in front of his own bench. Works this one in, but it's taken away. Nicely done by Hickman. Hickman gives it off to Davis. His three is good. Everson Davis. And that makes it 17-13. They'll give him credit for a long two. Now across the timeline with it comes Williams. Williams finds Stevenson and into the corner. This is Jeter. Stevenson again at the top. They wheeled around to the left side, and Kyle Borden. Borden trying to find a seam, not a whole lot there. Nearly loses his dribble, able to recover and give off to Stevenson. Stevenson gives a nice feed down low, and here's a layup from Janicott. Now back the other way. A quick three on the way from Landberg is no good, and the rebound pulled in by Jeter. Jeter pressed, gives it off, and across the timeline with it will come Williams. 17-16 our score. Here's a kick out to Stevenson. Stevenson tries to make a feed down low. It's rejected, but he's able to get it back and give it off this time to Borden. Kyle Borden gives it off at the top. It's nearly taken away and is taken away by Niglio, but Niglio has it deflected out of bounds. Last touch by Borden, so Peddie will retain possession. Everson Davis will inbound on the baseline. Able to work it in the Rivers. Just under 6.5 to play here in the first half. Hun School trails by one. Rivers gives it off to Hickman. Now over Landberg. Another three is good. George Landberg makes it 20-15. Now they adjust the scoreboard. Thought it was 17-16. That's right, 20-15. Now back the other way. Here's a layup on the way and good from Eric Williams. So that makes it 20-17, and now pass thrown away by Peddie. And Hun will get possession back. That's the correct score right now, 20-17 with 5:58 to play here in the first half. Jason Jeter will inbound. Now referees discussing, and they'll keep the ball with the Raiders. Christian East and Rick Pinna talking about that one. Inbound pass comes into Burke. 5:50 to play here in the first half. Hun trailing by 3. McGivry tries to drive, nothing there, so gives it off, and that's Borden. Borden tries into the lane, has it swatted away. Nice play there, and able to force the turnover is Niglio, and the Falcons will bring it back the other way. Rivers crosses the timeline. Brian Rivers drives with the left hand, lays it up. It's rejected by McGivry, and back the other way. This is Burke. Burke drives into the lane. Nice feed down low, but it's taken away by Peddie, who is out of bounds when they had the ball. So possession will remain with Hunt. A 3 will tie it for the Raiders. Trying to get it into Burke. He's not open. So they find Borden on the right elbow. Borden gives it off to Burke. Landberg on him. Burke gives it off now for Janicott. Gets it right back and kicks into the corner. This is Williams. Jeter gives it off. Now they work it in the post for McGivry. Nice spin move. Reverse layup on the way and good. Beautifully done by Josh McGivry. And it's 20-19. Now Rivers back the other way. Fires at the top. And it's Davis. Davis runner rejected by Janicott. Now back the other way. Here's Burke up and away. Hun takes a 21-20 lead. Timeout Peddie. Nice run here from the Raiders. Quick 6-0 run to give them a 21-20 lead with 4:32 to play here in the first half. We saw Burke tried to throw one down earlier and was fouled, but he was all by himself that time. And the dunk gives the Raiders a 1-point lead. Falcons certainly want to calm their team down. That's why Joe Roolridge took the timeout, try and stop this run. As out of the timeout, Peddie will have possession. Brian Rivers will inbound. Rivers runs the baseline and able to get this one into Hickman. Now they give it in the corner. This is Landberg. Rivers spots up, foul line extended left, too strong on the jumper. And the rebound pulled in and back the other way, but this one goes Jeter. Jason Jeter in the post for Janicott. Up and around his man and lays it in. 23-20, Hun leads by 3. 8-0 run for the Raiders with 4 minutes to play here in the first half. Here's Rivers. Davis now gives it off for Hickman. Over to Davis. His 3 is on the way. That's no good, and the rebound is pulled in by Jeter. Jason Jeter into the corner for Borden. Now they work it in the post again. This time it's McGivry. McGivry goes up between 2 men. Can't finish. Rivers pulls down the board. He's running the other way. Rivers into the corner for C-Tram. Now here's a 3 from Landberg. That's no good, and Janicott squeezes the board. Burke will bring it across the timeline. 3.5 to play here in the first half. Burke gives it off at the top for Janicott. Now McGivry into the corner. 3 on the way and good. Jason Jeter. 26-20. 11-0 run from Hun. And they're up by 6. Davis. Nice spin move, but throws it away, and possession will head back to Hun once again. Re-entering the game for Hun, Daniel Osley will come in, as will Eric Williams. Quality minutes off the bench from Kyle Borden. He'll come out, get a well-deserved break. And set to inbound Osley. He gives it off to Williams. 3 minutes to play here in the first half. Raiders lead 26-20. Jeter works it down low for McGivry. Now he kicks it back out. And Hun will reset on offense with Osley. McGivry in the post again. Kicks it back out. 3 for Williams. Every time McGivry makes that move, Peddie comes in the double team and it opens up someone on the perimeter. 14-0 run for the Raiders and they lead by 9. Rivers finds Davis now at the top. It's Rivers driving into the lane, lays it off the side of the backboard, no good. Now they scrum for the ball on the ground. Rivers able to get it and gives it off to Landberg. Now here's Davis to the top and Rivers. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Hun leads 29-20 over the 15-2 Peddie Falcons. Rivers gives it off to Landberg. Landberg drives to the left hand and gives it off to Davis. His runner is on the way and good. Everson Davis makes it 29-22. Williams running back the other way, has it poked away from behind. And here goes Peddie, but a little too far ahead of himself is Everson Davis. Out of bounds, and possession will head right back to Hun. 92 seconds to play in the first half. Hun leads 29-22. And what has been an entertaining first half so far here on Strive. Osley nearly throws away the inbound pass, and now the down-court pass from Janicott is taken away. Rivers gives it off. Open 3 for Hickman is no good, but he follows his own board out of bounds. It went off of Hickman's foot. So possession will head back to Hun. Burke re-enters for Williams. As set to inbound is Osley. McGivry lightly pressed in the backcourt, gives it off to Burke. Burke being guarded by C-Tram as he crosses the timeline. 70 seconds to play in the first half. Burke. Nice move there. Another nice crossover move from Michael Burke. Now gives it over. Driving into the lane, they kick it back out. Jeter, runner. Too strong, no good. Rebound pulled in and put back in by McGivry. 31-22. A 16-2 run from Hun to end the first half. Now Rivers kicks it into the corner for Landberg. Landberg gives it off to Niglio. Niglio back to Rivers, and a blocking foul is called on Osley. Just the 4th foul on Hun here in the first half. Rivers will inbound. And checking back into the game is Everson Davis. Now poked away from Hickman and back the other way. This is Burke. Burke, runner off the glass. No good. Rebound pulled in by Janicott. His putback is no good. And now ball knocked out of bounds. Last touched by Jeter. And so possession will head to the Falcons of Peddie. 21 seconds remains in the first half. Hun in front by 9. Rivers crosses the timeline. 7 seconds, Burke all over him. And a 5-second violation is called on Rivers, so Hun will take it back. Nice defense there from Burke. Rivers couldn't get started toward the hoop. And now checking back into the game, Eric Williams will come in for Osley. Jeter will inbound, 4.4 to play in the first half. They get it into Burke. Burke with 2 seconds now across the timeline, loses it, and a half-court heave the other way from Peddie and Nate Hickman. Not even close. And that will bring about halftime here at the Hun School. Our score, Hun 31 and Peddie 22. You're watching prep school basketball in the Maple League here on Strive. Welcome back to Strive's coverage of Maple League basketball. 31-22 our score. Raiders in front over the Peddie Falcons as we are at the half. Mike Samsel with you here on Strive. And what has been an entertaining first half so far, and a somewhat surprising one as well. Even though the Hun School, we mentioned they've won the Maple League 2 out of the last 4 years. Peddie comes in at 15-2, but Hun, on the heels of a 16-2 run to end the first half, lead this one by 9. And as we take a look at things here at the Hun School, we mentioned certainly a lot of great athletes over the history of the Hun School, and we mentioned all the great athletes and basketball players that have passed through these hallways. Fergus Duke, Grant McKay, Hashim Moore, and Jake Newman from the class of 2013. They all went on to play college ball. Hashim Moore now at Princeton in 2012. Rashid Epps on his way to Wesleyan Emerson College for Bobby Gagnes. Will Kelly, Bo McKinley. Will Kelly into the United States Naval Academy. And you look back to 2011 and 2010, you see the Citadel in there. Dylan Sherwood off to the University of North Carolina at Wilmington, and back at 2010, Dartmouth College for Tyler Millville. Ryan Adams onto your sinus, so certainly a really impressive array of athletes here for the Hun School the past couple of years. All those young men gone on to great universities to continue their studies and continue their basketball skills as well. And you look at the next generation coming up here, all led by head coach Jonathan Stone. Certainly no stranger to playing basketball at a high level as well. And he played over in Europe for 5 years as well. So Jonathan Stone has sent players all over the map, really. Send them to Princeton, St. Joe's, Vanderbilt, Elon, Rhode Island, Northeastern, Colgate, Dartmouth, and others. Before arriving, Coach Stone spent a couple of years at the University of Rochester as a graduate assistant. And he also spent 5 years playing basketball in Europe as well. Played for the Jets over in Chester, England, Bayern Munich. Played it also in Northern Ireland as well. And he also spent a year with the Harlem Globetrotters organization. But he was a member of the Washington Generals. So not quite a Globetrotter, but certainly an impressive road for Coach Stone. And we mentioned a state championship in his 13 years here at the Hun School, and Maple League championships 2 out of the last 4 years. And we look at some of the players from the classes. Daniel Osley, he's going to head on. Has a bunch of different offers. It looks like Daniel's going to play some D3 basketball for the postgraduate. The 6'3" young man, certainly a bright academic career and a bright basketball career coming up from Hollywood, Florida for him. Eric Williams, another one, very good this season, averaging 7.5 points a game, 2 assists per game, and 2.5 rebounds per game as well for Eric. He's the class of 2015, certainly looking to continue his studies and his basketball career as well. Also Jason Jeter, who we talked about a lot in that first half, out of Trenton, New Jersey. Jason is another one. He's going to play in the D3 level. Not quite sure where, but a lot of schools in Division III looking at him, averaging 6 points a game, 2 assists, and 2.5 rebounds, shooting a very impressive 54% from the field is Jeter. And we look at our next player here, Joshua McGivry. McGivry looking at some Ivy League schools for Josh, and also some of the high academic D3 schools. Hasn't really made his decision yet. But wherever Josh goes, they're certainly going to get a heck of a basketball player. 6'8", 190 pounds, but he's shooting 57% from the field. And we've seen in the first half, really crafty in this offense for the Hun School. Sets a lot of things up from the post, does a really good job. He's able to draw double teams, kick it back out. Really good distributor, good defender, good basketball IQ, and somebody's going to get a heck of an athlete in Joshua McGivry. Also Kyle Borden, another junior young man coming off the bench for the Hun School Raiders. Certainly one to keep an eye on out of South Orange, New Jersey. So certainly a very impressive crop of players. Michael Burke, Another one, Michael averaging 14 points a game, 2.5 assists, 1.5 steals, 2.5 rebounds. And we saw he could certainly play above the rim. This is certainly a young man out of South Orange, New Jersey that we're going to hear about in the future. He's going to be playing D1 basketball somewhere next year. Already has one offer and interest from others as well. So we'll certainly see. And also Remy Jenicott, our final spotlight player here on Strive out of Mole, Belgium. He'll be graduating this year as well, postgraduate, averaging 5.6 rebounds, and things are looking like he's going to play at the D2 level. Not quite sure where yet. Obviously, a lot of these young men haven't made their commitments yet. Very rarely will you see the D2, D3 schools get commitments this early in the year. Signing day is still a little bit away. So that's the Hun School Raiders, which have a 31-22 lead here at Grant Shipley Pavilion. Back with second half play right after this. You're watching Strive. Set to start the second half here on Strive. Mike Samsel with you. 31-22 our score. The Hun School Raiders in front over the Peddie Falcons. 16-2 the run at the end of the first half from the Raiders. Gave them a 9-point lead. And Hun will have possession to start the second half as well. Peddie comes out with their 5 starters of Davis, Seatram, Landberg, Hickman, and Rivers. Same starting 5 for the Raiders as well, and it's actually Peddie that will have possession to start the second half, as across the timeline with it is Rivers. To the top and Davis. Davis now gives it off to Hickman. Hickman with a head fake and off to Landberg. Now Rivers. Crossover move, step back, fires into the corner, and a 3 is on the way. Too strong from Seatram. Rebound pulled in nicely by Hickman, down low, back out to Rivers. His 3 is no good, and the rebound is pulled in by Jenicott. Back this side now comes Burke. Burke puts it in the post. McGivry back out to Burke. They play a give and go with it. McGivry, nice move, and lays it in. 33-22, 11-point lead for the Raiders. Rivers back the other way. Kick out to Davis, and play going to be whistled down, foul called. It'll be the first of the second half against Hun, as it was charged to Jason Jeter. So set to inbound. Underneath their own hoop is Rivers for the Falcons. Rivers kicks it into the corner, Landberg, and now it's Hickman. Hickman not able to get much of anything going in that first half. Gives it off to Rivers. Rivers not much either. Step back Jay knocks it down. So Rivers makes it 33-24, and the inbound pass comes in across the timeline with it is Burke. Burke down court to Williams, lays it off the glass, no good. And Seatram is fouled on the loose ball. Foul is going to be whistled against Eric Williams. That will be Hun's second. And Peddie will take possession back. 33-24, 6:45 to play in quarter number 3. Rivers and Davis play catch in the backcourt. It's Davis over to Rivers. Brian Rivers drives with the right hand, lays it in. Brian Rivers just needs a little bit of daylight, found it there and able to get 2 points. That makes it 33-26. And the press again from Peddie in the backcourt. Williams able to get it across the timeline, but Hickman all over him. Works it off for Burke. Now McGivry. McGivry, nice head fake, trying to create some space, gives it off to Janicott, but it's deflected into the backcourt. Over and back as it was last touched by Janicott, so Peddie able to force the turnover. Davis will inbound. But before he does, there'll be a timeout taken by Hun. Certainly not the start the Raiders were looking for here in the second half, as they had an 11-point lead, 33-22. A quick 4-0 run from Peddie, but the Raiders have looked a little bit flat here in the second half as they huddle around head coach Jonathan Stone. And the Hun faithful try to get their team fired up, ready to go, as does Coach Stone. Peddie right now trailing by 7, 33-26. Possession will belong to the Falcons as Davis inbounds to Hickman. Davis again. Works his way over to the left side and gives it off to Rivers. Brian Rivers looking to break this 2-3 zone. They get it into the corner. Now kick back out to Rivers. Rivers gives it off to Hickman. Hickman back to Rivers. And Peddie backs up again. Remember, no shot clock in the high school game, so a lot of times when you see these two teams settle back into a zone, it's just kind of a staring match of who's going to blink first. They work it in the post now for Hickman. Hickman will kick it back out to Rivers. Rivers, step back jumper. Good, in the foul. Brian Rivers able to knock it down. And a foul was spotted, as on him was Eric Williams picking up the foul. And stepping to the line to shoot for the old-fashioned three-point play, Brian Rivers. Misses the free throw, and the rebound pulled in by McGivry. Burke will bring it across the timeline. Just over 5 minutes to play here in quarter number 3, 33-28. Hun in front, looking for their 7th win of the season. In the post, Janicott, turnaround jumper, no good, and the rebound pulled in by Davis. Davis rushing back the other way, fires it out. Rivers, his three is good. Brian Rivers makes it a 2-point game, 33-31. Now press from Peddie again. Jeter will bring it across the timeline. Jeter on the right elbow with Hickman all over him. Ball knocked out of bounds, but possession will remain with Hun. Re-entering is Lucas Niglio. And set to inbound is Hun, who will handle the inbound. Looks like it's going to be Heilman back into the game. Taylor Heilman works it into Burke. Burke, nice move on Niglio, gives it back to Heilman. Now they work it for McGivry. Traveling violation on McGivry before he went back up with it. And possession will head back to Peddie with a chance to tie or take the lead with a 3. Light pressure here from the Raiders as Rivers gives it off to Hickman, who crosses the timeline. Hickman drives into the lane, kick out. Stepping past his defender is Davis. They got away with a travel there for sure. Now play going to be whistled down, and a foul spotted. So, stepping to the line is Hickman. I think they actually called a technical here on Hun. They will. Didn't see exactly what happened there. But Hickman is stepping to the line. I think they called a technical on Hun. So Hickman will step to the line to shoot the technical free throws. Hits the first. He'll shoot one more. Obviously, someone on Hun was not happy about the travel not being called and drew a technical. Hickman misses the second technical free throw, but Peddie will retain possession, and they trail by one. Davis will inbound. Gets it into Rivers, nearly an over and back. Nice job by Rivers to save it. Rivers being guarded by Burke. Under 4 minutes to play here in the third. 1 point game. Rivers, nice move, step back jumper. Too short, no good. And the rebound is out of bounds and a foul spotted. As a little bit too aggressive, Nate Hickman on the loose ball, and possession will head back to Hun. 33-32. Hun in front by one. McGivry gives it off to Williams. Pressure again from Peddie as they've done all game. In the post with it is Osley. Puts it up, no good, and the rebound pulled in by Davis. Davis back the other way, a little out of control, able to slow down, regather his dribble. Davis guarded by McGivry. Jumper, no good. And the rebound loose, pulled in by McGivry. McGivry gives it off to Burke, now down court to Heilman. Heilman, what a play to force it out of bounds. No, but they'll say Heilman still possessed the ball when he was out of bounds. He tried to throw it off of the chest of Isaiah Citram, but referee Rich Giolella says he still had the ball and his toe was on the line, so possession. Back to Peddie. Davis to Rivers. Rivers, nice pick and roll. Three from Hickman, no good. And the rebound pulled in by McGivry. Back this side comes Burke. Burke pops a three, that's no good. And the rebound is loose and pulled in by Davis. Davis down court to Rivers, loses the ball, out of bounds. Possession will remain with Peddie. Only 2 points from Hun here in the first 5 minutes and change of quarter number three. They had a 33-22 lead at the half, or 31-22 lead at the half. They have one bucket, but that's it. Here's a step back three that's no good from Davis. And the rebound pulled in by Hun and Heilman. Burke will bring it across the timeline, trying to get something going for the Raiders. He averages 14 a game. Williams now gives it off to Osley. Osley in the corner for Burke. Burke drives into the lane, runner off the glass, and good. Michael Burke makes it a 3-point lead. Now back the other way, Rivers. Into the corner, they give it off. Here's a three on the way and good from Davis to tie the game. 35-35, 2 minutes to play in quarter number three. Williams will inbound. It's taken away. Niglio fires down low, and the layup is good for Citram. Back in front goes Peddie, and a timeout taken by the Hun School. A 15-4 run here in quarter number three has quieted down the fans here at Grant Shipley Pavilion and given the lead back to the guests, the Peddie Falcons. 37-35, 1:49 to play here in quarter number three. And we mentioned earlier on in quarter number three, technical foul was called. I'm not sure if it was called on one of the players or on the bench, as Hun School thought they should have had a turnover on a traveling violation. It was not called. Certainly drew the ire of the fans, drew the ire of the bench, drew the ire of the players on the floor. And a technical foul was picked up by the Raiders. So Peddie certainly feeling a lot better about themselves, getting things going in quarter number 3 to take the lead, 15 points in this quarter. Hun will inbound with Osley out of the timeout. Osley gets it into Williams. Williams trying to break free of the press as we tick under 100 seconds here in quarter number 3. Williams off to Burke. Osley. Now Janicott drives into the lane, lays it up, lays it in, and the foul. The bucket will count and a foul charge to Nate Hickman. And if Janicott can knock down the free throw, it will put Hun back in front. McGivery will re-enter the game. As stepping to the line to shoot is Janicott. And his free throw on the way and good to give Hun the lead back by 1, 38-37, 1:27 to play in the third. Rivers gives it off to Davis. Davis drives into the lane, but a little bit too hot to handle for Austin Shelton. Out of bounds and possession back to Hun. So Hun starting to try and seize that momentum back. As Borden will inbound, guarded by Niglio. Full pressure again as Janicott gives it off to Burke. Burke will cross the timeline. Burke gives it off nicely, and Borden misses the layup. Rebound knocked all the way back to the point where McGivery rebounds. In the corner to Burke for 3. 41-37, Hun leads. Rivers crosses the timeline with 50 seconds to play here in the third. One-on-one with Burke. That's been a fun matchup all day. Niglio drives into the lane. Scoop layup rejected by Janicott. Back the other way comes Williams. Williams gives it to Burke. Michael Burke dribbling around. We'll see if they hold for the last shot or not. 21 seconds remains in the quarter. McGivery gives it off to Williams, and Hun will hold for the last shot. They lead by 4. 41-37, 10 seconds now. Burke drives his way into the lane, fires into the corner. Williams, jumper, no good. Rebound, loose, out of bounds, and possession will head back to Peddie with only 1.3 remaining here in quarter number 3. Re-entering the game will be George Langberg. Peddie will have to quickly fire one down court if they want to try and get a shot off. Also Hickman back into the game, and Everson Davis will inbound. McGivery will guard the inbounder. They get it in, and here's Hickman. Shot won't count. And we are through 3 quarters here at Grant Shipley Pavilion. Hun 41, Peddie 37. You're watching Maple League basketball here on Strive. Set to start quarter number 4 out here at Grant Shipley Gymnasium on the campus of the Hun School. Mike Samsel with you. 41-37 our score. Hun in front 5-4 over the 15-2 Peddie Falcons. Possession will belong to Peddie. Start quarter number 4. Actually be Hun inbounding, and it's Williams. Williams gives it off to McIvery. McIvery to the top now, and Eric Williams. Final 8 minutes as they work it off for Burke. Williams looking for McIvery. Spot up jumper from 17 off the backboard and no good. And the rebound pulled in by Davis. Davis back the other way, makes a nice spin move, trying to work himself free. And he's able to draw a foul. It will be the 5th foul against Hun, so still no shot. It'll just be an inbound situation. As Peddie will retain possession. Inbounding underneath his own hoop is Brian Rivers. Rivers gets it in, gets it back, hoists a 3, and knocks it down. Brian Rivers makes it a 1-point game, 41-40. Now the inbound comes into Williams. Williams with Rivers all over him, trying to create some space and get it across the timeline. Williams finally does, but he loses his dribble. It's taken away. Rivers back the other way. Misses the layup. Put back, no good. And now play is whistled down. A loose ball foul is going to be called on Peddie. Brian Rivers will be charged with a loose ball foul. And possession will head back to Hun. Just the 3rd foul of the second half against Peddie. Janicott in the backcourt pressed and gives it off to Burke. Michael Burke has really fared well against the press in this one. He crosses the timeline. Rivers with a hand in his face. Under 7 minutes to play in the final quarter. Hun leads by 1. Jeter gives it off. Janicott layup, no good. And the rebound pulled in by Hickman. Chance for Peddie to take the lead back. It's been a seesaw second half. Huge run by Hun. Ended the first half. And then Peddie went on a nice run in the second half, but they turned it over here as Everson Davis palmed the ball in possession. We'll head back to Hun once again. Inbounding is Stevenson. Back into the game, Tucker Stevenson, the junior. Gives it off to Burke, who crosses the timeline. Michael Burke guarded by Rivers. Works it over to the left side. Jeter able to create some space, gives it off, gets it back. Jeter drives past one man, little runner off the front of the rim, no good. His putback is no good. McIvery in there, he can't clean it up. 4th tip in, still loose, no good. And Jeter has it taken away by Rivers. Brian Rivers back across the timeline at the top of the key. Double team, loses the ball, and it's taken away. Nice feed, but it's a little out of the reach of McIvery. And Hun will have to set up in the half-court set. Burke had the right idea, the direction finder just a bit off. Burke, one-on-one with Hickman. Gives it off to Jeter. Jeter puts it in the post for McIvery. Feed across to Stevenson. Loses it off his foot out of bounds. And possession will head back to Peddie. Kyle Borden re-enters. And also re-entering Lucas Niglio. As Brian Rivers will inbound. Just under 5.5 to play here in the final quarter. 1-point game. Rivers gives it off to Hickman. Hickman drives into the lane. He's rejected by McIvery. And the rebound out of bounds will head back to the Raiders. Nice block there by McIvery. And set to inbound is Hun. Jeter gets it into Burke. Burke and Rivers. Been a fun one-on-one matchup all day. Burke has somewhat gotten the better of Rivers, even though he got going offensively in quarter number 3. Play going to be whistled down, a 5-second violation on Burke. So Rivers gets the better of that matchup, and possession will head back to Peddie. Defense has been good for both sides in this game. Pretty low scoring with under 5 minutes to play. Rivers drives into the lane, puts it up, no good, but he's able to draw contact in the foul. Foul will be whistled on McGilvery, and Rivers will step to the line to shoot a pair. Chance to put Peddie in front if he can knock them both down. He ties the game with the first. 41-41, and Rivers will shoot one more. Peddie is back in front by one. Re-entering the game, Eric Williams. Borden will come out. 4:49 to play in quarter number 4, 42-41. Peddie leads. Hun looking for their 7th win of the season. Long down court pass, and it's saved by Hickman, but it's kept by Hun momentarily, but out of bounds. They will give it back to Peddie. Burke thought it was knocked out of his hands. So do the Hun faithful. Referees disagree and give possession back to Peddie. Rivers will bring it back across the timeline, work it off on the right side to Niglio. Now it's Hickman. Davis trying to create some space, gives it off. Here's an open three that's on the way in, no good from Cetram. And back the other way, Burke able to pull down the rebound. Just over 4 minutes to play in this rivalry game. Timeout taken by Hun. Hun wants a chance to draw up the play here, try and make sure they get the lead back. We mentioned a 15-2 run to end the first half. Gave Hun the lead 31-22. And a 15-4 run on the other side. In quarter number 3 from Peddie, got them right back into it, got them in front. And it's been somewhat of a seesaw battle here in quarter number 4. Michael Burke certainly playing well for the Hun School Raiders in this one, as is Josh McGilvery. Brian Rivers, Nate Hickman have had pretty nice games. Rivers was kind of the spark plug of that run for Peddie in quarter number 3. Head coach Jonathan Stone drawing up a play for his team. Try and get a nice offensive set going, and my guess is they'll try and get it in the hands of McGilvery. I mentioned he's played well in this one. Not just a good scorer, but really good distributing the basketball as well. Is the big fella from Scotland. Out of the timeout, Jason Jeter will inbound. Jeter gets it in, and it's Burke. Burke one-on-one with Niglio in the left corner, dribbles his way out to the elbow. Under 4 minutes to play, 42-41. Burke trying to create some space from Niglio, who's still right with him. Burke drives baseline, step back jumper, no good, but the tip in from McGilvery, no good, and rebound foul is going to be called on Nate Hickman. So McGilvery will step to the line to shoot a pair. If he can knock these ones down, it will put Hun back in front. Ties the game with his first. I mentioned Josh, most likely heading into the Ivy League. Also a chance he'll play a high academic D3 level. Misses the second free throw, and Rivers comes back the other way. 42-42, 3:35 to play. Rivers works it off. Here's a three from Hickman, no good. And the rebound pulled in by McIvory. Michael Burke, 3:20 to play. Williams to Burke. Davis steps out on him. Burke on the right elbow. Lobs it down low. Janicott lays it in for the lead. 44-42. Under 3 minutes to play. Rivers gives it off at the top. Hickman drives into the lane, creates contact, and a blocking foul will be called on the Raiders. Foul is going to be whistled on Remy Janicott. And stepping to the line to shoot a pair will be the postgraduate out of Newark, Delaware, Nate Hickman. 2:50 to play in quarter number 4. Hun School leads 44-42. Been a gritty Maple League matchup so far. Mentioned the Maple League consisting of 6 members: Blair, Hun, Peddie, Hill, Lawrenceville, and Mercersburg. The Mid-Atlantic Prep League stretches over Pennsylvania, New Jersey. First free throw on the way and good from Hickman. That makes it a 1-point game. Hickman will shoot another for the tie. 44-44, 2:50 to play. Jeter will inbound. Gets it into McIvory. Williams in a little bit of trouble. Pass partially deflected. They got to hurry up and get it across the timeline. They do. And here's a layup on the way. No good from Burke. Rebound loose. They chase it around and it goes right to Rivers. Wide open. Peddie leads. 46-44. Timeout taken by Peddie. 2 minutes, 31 seconds to play, and a loose ball bounce just went perfectly to the Falcons. And Brian Rivers, we mentioned, he's played well so far in this one. A really good third quarter. And was able to get the layup to put Peddie back in front here at Grant Shipley Pavilion. Certainly a good game so far. 46-44, 2:31 to play in the game. Brian Rivers getting some offers from colleges in the area, some D1 offers, and mostly D2, D3 offers coming in for Rivers. Out of the timeout, we'll see what lineups the teams elect to come out with. As Peddie burned the timeout, Hun would certainly like to tie it up or maybe even take back the lead, as Niglio, who's been the best defender in the game, is out on the floor for Peddie with Rivers, C-Tram, Hickman, and Davis. Janicott and McIvory will come out in the front court. In the back court, it'll be Jeter, Burke, and Eric Williams, the starting 5 for the Hun School Raiders. 2:31 to play here in quarter number 4. Jeter will inbound, gets it into Burke, who's double teamed. He gives it off to Jeter, and Jeter will bring the Raiders across the timeline and set up the offense. Now they give it to Burke. Burke has Hickman all over him. Gives it off at the top to Williams. Williams drives into the lane, foul line extended left, jumper no good. Janicott put back too strong, and the rebound is pulled in by Hickman. 2 minutes to play here at Grant Shipley Pavilion. Peddie leads by 2. Brian Rivers, one-on-one with Jeter. Works it over to Hickman. And again, if you're Peddie, You're certainly just fine with taking time off the clock. No shot clock here in high school basketball, so eventually Hun will have to show some pressure, and a foul is going to be called on McGivry as he pushed Hickman as he tried to dribble past him. That's the 7th team foul on Hun, so it'll bring about a 1-and-1. And stepping to the line to shoot is Nate Hickman. He hits the first. That makes it a 3-point lead, 47-44, 137. This second free throw is massive for the Hunt School. And he knocks it down. Nate Hickman, 2 big free throws, and it's 48-44, 137 to play. Inbound pass comes into Burke. One-on-one with Rivers in the backcourt. Burke gives it to Janicott. Janicott, play whistle down, and the timeout is taken by the Raiders. Timeout on the floor, 1:25 to play. 48-44. The lead belongs to Peddie. You're watching Strive. Out of the timeout, important possession for the Hun School. They trail by 4 with just 1:25 to play in the game. Hun certainly needs a bucket here if they want to try and pull off what would be considered an upset, even though it's a league game. Hun just 6-8 on the season. Peddie 15-2. Hun will have possession out of the timeout. Jeter will inbound. Jeter lobs it down low for Janicott, out of bounds, off of the hands of Janicott, and possession back to Peddie. Tried to lob it down low and use their size advantage, but Janicott couldn't quite control. Rivers, guarded by Burke, brings it across the timeline, gives it off now for Everson Davis. 70 seconds to play. Davis drives, lays it up, no good, but he's able to draw the foul. And he'll step to the line to shoot 2. Again, we mentioned really important free throws with 71 seconds to play in the game. If he's able to knock them both down, it will still be a 2-possession game, but the Raiders will need a pair of threes to tie it up. He misses the first. That's certainly a big break for the Raiders. Davis will shoot one more. Got it. 49-44. Hun trails by 5. Inbound pass comes into Jeter. Press from Peddie. Jeter brings it across the timeline. Jeter gives it off to Burke. Michael Burke being guarded by Seatram now. 60 seconds to play. Burke over on the left elbow. Burke drives into the lane, has it taken away by Seatram, back the other way, and he lays it in. Huge play by Isaiah Seatram, able to get the steal, and it's 51-44. Now Hun, are they able to force another turnover? Traveling violation is called, so Hun will get it back. Niglio was able to knock the ball away, but he was charged with a travel after he dove on top of the ball. And Hun in a bit of trouble right now. Down 51-44. They trail by 7. 3-possession deficit with only 37.9 to play. So they'll need some help from Peddie if they want to pull this one out. Inbound pass comes into McGivery. McGivery, nice spin move, drives into the lane, feeds it off, lays it up, no good. Shot won't count, however. McGivery was fouled on the way up. That's only the 15th foul on Peddie. So it'll be an inbound play for the Raiders. Jeter will inbound. Still 2 fouls to give. Jeter inbounds, and it is loose on the floor and taken away once again, and a foul is going to be called on Remy Janicott. The pressure by Peddie really had a huge effect on Hun in the waning seconds of this one. And right now for Peddie, if they hit their free throws, they're going to escape Grant Shipley with a nice win. First from Davis is good. 8-point lead, 52-44, 28 seconds to play. The second is good. The Raiders need 3 threes. They need them quickly, and they need stops. They trail by 9 with 25 seconds to play. Jeter will bring it across the timeline off to Burke. Burke jumper all the way and good. Check it, that's Williams, Eric Williams. Knocks down the jumper. That makes it 53-46 with 20 seconds to play, and quickly a timeout taken by the Hun school. So certainly you got to think Hun has to come out and immediately foul Peddie. The Raiders have 10 fouls against them, so Peddie in the double bonus. They'll step to the line to shoot 2 free throws on any foul that's charged. Certainly, Hun, you got to think maybe they won't come out and immediately foul. Obviously, try to force the turnover first, but time not on their side with only 20.7 seconds to play in the game. There you get a look inside a somewhat dejected Hun huddle. They'll come out of the timeout with McGivery, Williams, Jeter, Janicott, and Burke. They're starting 5. Peddie will inbound, Brian Rivers. Rivers gets it in, Hickman, and play immediately whistled down as a foul called. Hickman will step to the line to shoot a pair. Hickman can all but seal it away if he knocks down both. Knocks down the first. 54-46, and he'll shoot one more. And he misses the second. Rebound pulled in by Janicott. 15 seconds to play as that one knocked away from Hickman out of bounds, but Hun will retain possession. So it looks like the Raiders are going to fall to 6-9 on the season as the inbound pass comes into McGivery, and it's taken away by Hickman. And play whistled down, foul called. Only 10 seconds to play in the game. Foul is going to be whistled on Janicott. And stepping to the line to shoot a pair will be Hickman. Don't think that one was an intentional foul. Hickman's first, on the way and good. 55-46, and he'll shoot one more. And he knocks that one down as well. 10-point lead for Peddie, 56-46. Just 10 seconds to play. Williams will bring it across the timeline. Down low, wide open. McGivery will lay it in. But that will be the final play of the game. This one was a lot closer than the final score will indicate. 56-48 the final. The pressure defense from Peddie And some good shooting from Brian Rivers gives the Falcons win number 16 on the season. We'll come back to wrap it up right after this. You're watching Maple League basketball here on Strive. Welcome back here to Grant Shipley Pavilion. Again, our final 56-48. Peddie gets the victory. They move to 16-2 on the season, while the Hun School Raiders fall to 6-9. But certainly an outstanding game here at Grant Shipley Pavilion. It was a tight game all the way through, and we mentioned just at the end the pressure of Peddie, able to put this one away as well with some nifty shooting from Brian Rivers and Everson Davis. So that'll wrap up our coverage here on Strive. Be sure to stay tuned to our website or check out on Twitter as well, twitter.com/Strive Network, to see when Strive will be on the air once again. So for our entire Strive crew, Mike Samsel wishing you a good evening. Again, our final 56-48. Peddie gets the victory. Until next time, thanks so much for watching. Have a great night, everyone.